Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new edition of Rams Revealed. I'm your host, JB Long, and as you know, this show is designed to help us get to know the players behind the pads, especially for the Rams rookie class. Unfortunately for us, before we could even get to Puka Nacua, he had become a household name across the National Football League with his record-setting performance in his debut season. So trust me, I've been asking for this sit-down for months. It's good to be with you, Puka, but I understand, like Fox and Aaron Andrews come first. I have to get in line. We're pleased to have you for Week 13 previewing the Cleveland Browns.
Well, thanks for having me. It's been fun to be here in the Rams and always to be with the squad, so it always feels nice.
The good thing is, as we've gotten to know you, my list of questions has grown. So I've got more than we can get to in this episode, but I've been looking forward to this for a while, and I'm anxious to just start with, how are you doing with all of this? You get thrown in the spin cycle that is the whirlwind of NFL stardom. Has your world slowed down yet?
I think slowly. The buy kind of came at a good time. Just trying to mentally reset and then especially physically reset. That was a big thing. But I went and spent some time with my nephew, and he's 3 years old, so he's a menace to society right now. And it was just fun to be around some new energy.
How would you describe what you went through in September and October to those of us who will never experience anything like that?
I guess just a flow state and just feeling like I couldn't really think past of what was happening next. I was just feeling so present, and just like everybody around me was just feeling like I was in the right place. People were looking out for me. I had the right people around me. I'm being able to learn and ask questions from all the right people, and everything just seemed to fall into place for me. So I just felt like I even if I were to wake up and stub my toe, I knew the day was still there's so many great things to come after that. I was just never stressed.
What was the hardest part?
Trying to find that routine and trying to have the consistency to come back of just like, okay, I know my performance and trying to go out there and put out my best performance, but then also be like, I want us to win. Like, that's the number one thing. As much as I want to perform well, like when the Rams win, like there's nothing better than that feeling. So like, holy cow, like what can I do in the pass game, or what can I do in the run game? Just what more can I do to be able to help us get over that hump of winning a game? So it's been fun for us to roll 2 in a row right now, and then just to find the things that I know are making an impact for us to win.
I can tell your smile, your joy is authentic, but does it ever get to be too much? Like to have to be on all the time to be the way that you are?
No, I guess not necessarily. I guess the pressure that I have is a privilege, and it's a blessing to be in this spot where people are asking a lot of me. It definitely requires a lot, and the ability to take care of my body and to do the right things that are for me outside of football have been a big emphasis for me, and trying to find that balance. But I wouldn't say it's not too bad. My life is good.
Okay, how involved with fantasy football were you before you became an NFL rookie?
Not much. I had done one fantasy football season my first year at BYU with some of the guys on the team, but that's probably the extent of it. I really wasn't sure. I know I drafted the guys that I liked, but not like I didn't know like you're supposed to switch them out. Like there are guys in different spots. It matters where you put them and stuff. That wasn't me.
So this is a bit of a new space for you too, to not just be a member of the Rams, but to be a member of teams across the world who are rooting for you individually and statistically.
Yeah, 100%. That's definitely changed it a lot.
All right, let's get a quick word or two about the state of the Rams. They're 5-6, coming home to face the Cleveland Browns. I wonder, what was your favorite moment from the win at Arizona most recently?
Shoot, I thought I had a good block on Buda Baker. We had that right before halftime. We got that series. And Kyron gashed them for like maybe 30 yards, and they had a too high shot look, and I went to go crack for the safety. I'm going to get the safety, and Buda Baker came down, and he put a good little beating on me. But the safety, that's my job, is to go get the safety. So that means he front, and then the corner's got to come make the play. And 2-3 doing what he does, he made the corner miss, and we go for 30. And it wasn't a super fancy play. We didn't score, but I thought that was a fun one for me, knowing that my just kind of going back to what can I do to impact the game, and that's a fun one, knowing that kind of get a little bit of a beating, but our running back makes me right.
You definitely contributed to what was a career day for Kyron Williams. Is he your only rival on the Rams for like the biggest renewable energy source, like the most joyful player in this facility?
I think so. He definitely has a lot of energy. Kobe Turner, I think, is up there too. He's a little bit of a sleeper. I know he's always conducted. You see when he gets that hand motion going, you know something's happening.
What about Tyler Higbee getting in the end zone? I remember going back to this summer, just getting a sense that you admire him as a captain and a leader? His first 2 touchdowns of the year felt like they were a long time coming.
100%. And just somebody I get to work with playing in the Z position that I get to work with and moving with the tight ends a lot, the communication that he has, and just to be able to watch that consistency that he has, especially for a young guy, looking to the leaders and the groups that we have. And to see just the hard work, because I know all the blocking and stuff, the combination blocks that he gets to work with, the tight end position is not an easy one, especially in the offense that we run. And so for him to get that success and to hit the pay dirt, everybody want to touch paint every time we go out there and step the field, but to do it 2 times and to see Big Higgs get in there was sweet.
So back-to-back wins for the first time this season. The Rams are on a winning streak as they come home to SoFi Stadium, and you were mic'd up the last time the Rams were home in that win over the Seahawks in which you scored a touchdown. One of the things I didn't realize about your routines, your rituals, is whatever was going on between you and Brian Allen. And there were some others too, but like just pounding you on the pads before each series. Is that right?
Yeah, each series.
Where did that come from?
I did it at BYU. Our offensive tackle, who's with the Colts, Blake Freeland, was the guy who used to do it for me. But there's some jitters. Everybody has the salts. I just barely kind of started dabbling into the smelling salts. I'm still not a big fan of them, but it's just kind of like a reset. There's no more jitters. I kind of just like a hit before I actually go out there and get hit by somebody else. So it's really nice. It's a nice. I go out there with a clean slate. I'm ready to go.
And BA is like the ultimate bouncer. I feel like he was a good volunteer for that duty.
Oh, 100%. The very first time I asked him, I think it was had to be our preseason game against the Chargers here, and he's like, you want me to slap you? And I was like, I want you to like hit me, not just like a slap. I need you to like actually get a good lick on me.
How about the roar after your jet sweep to take the Rams down into that tight red area and essentially set up the game-winning field goal? How would you grade that Lions roar there? It kind of came out of you, didn't it?
Oh yeah, I think that was for sure one of my best ones. I think I'm gonna give that one a 9.5 out of 10.
I like it. Okay, who's the better hype man? Eric Yarber, your receivers coach, or Dana White?
That's a close one. That's a close. Uncle Dana is definitely one of the best in the business for sure. But Coach Yarbs, he always gets right. I know when he comes around, you see Coach Yarbs start jumping, and he starts going. And then the very first time he did it was in Seattle, and he's like, I didn't know there was a slap coming after. So like, I'm like, Coach, he's jumping. He comes up and he says a couple words to me. But then after, like, I kind of like glance away, so I can see somebody else, and he gets a good slap in the middle of the chest, and it's like, I like getting slapped, but it caught me off guard, and that was like my reset. I was like, Coach Yarbs, I'm gonna never let you hit me like that again. Like, I'm ready now.
Has Dana White been to see you play at SoFi yet, by any chance?
No, not yet. Sadly,
we got to make that happen.
Yeah, we definitely do.
He's not your biological uncle, is he?
No, not my biological uncle. Family friends. I've known his family since I played football with his son Dana White since we were in 4th grade. So it's been a long time. It's been a long time for them seeing me playing and scoring some touchdowns.
Okay, let me transition to your blood family then. And it feels like just seeing you and observing you from the outside, we have to start with Mom, Panina, and what she means to you. Whether you're saying, hi, Mom, up on the video board at SoFi Stadium, said you couldn't wait to call her after Bobby Wagner came up to you post-game. I remember you FaceTiming her from the locker room in Indianapolis. Maybe you can just say a few words about what she's meant, not just to your upbringing, but who you are as a person and a football player.
Strength. My mom is full Samoan. My grandma came from Western Samoa, so that's the number one word I think that comes to my mind when I think of my mom, of strength. My father passed away when I was a young kid, and she'd raised five boys and one girl, and just the struggle she always had made sure that she made us recognize, but also the things that she'd also sacrificed for us, of having all the boys and the struggles that she'd gone through, but the strength to continue to push on and to be there in all the significant moments for me, and especially for my siblings, being the younger one, of watching her find a way to go to practice over here, go to practice over there, be at this game, and to be a team mom and all those things, and the things that she sacrificed and the strength that requires is something that I hold dear to my heart. And I think people see strength through me, but I have a strength source of my own as well.
Your late father, Lionel, passed away right before you turned 11. Is that correct?
Yeah, right before I turned 12, yeah.
Right before you turned 12. What can you tell us about him, how you commemorate him, the influence that he had on your life, even beyond his passing?
It's so funny. I just think of like a master plan, like a Coach McVay in a sense of just somebody who can see everything happening before it kind of does, and the ability to put the right people in place and to have that energy and to create that kind of camaraderie and unity. I think of all the times that being the younger brother where I got dressed up and was put in the backyard just to be the tackling dummy, and all those like where it's like, "No, Dad, I'm sure there's no chance I signed to do that willingly," but all the chances and the things I would do to go back and to relive that moment, to be the tackling dummy, to see if I could beat my brothers, but also the times that I got beat up and I was so sad, but at dinner, the way he was able to bring us all together and for us to have so much fun, and to always teach us to the people around you, to always take care of them and to treat them like family. So that's something that I try to carry into the football environment every day.
I know how influential your brothers were in your life to this point and continue to be. Was that amplified because you grew up, through your teenage years without a father?
Yeah, 100%. And just being so close, and just that physicality aspect of football, but then the brotherhood of it, we go out there and sacrifice and we put our bodies on the line, and just like the competitive edge that comes in the game of football, and how that was that was the household environment that I grew up in. So to get to compete against them all the time, and for them to see me go out and do, I guess, the things that they thought they knew I was capable of, and I always knew I was capable of, so they always tried to diminish me being the better one because I was so little, but it definitely has amplified it.
Share their names with us, if you will, and where are you in the birth order, Puka?
Yeah, so there's my older brother Justin, my older brother Kai, Isaiah. So I'm terrible with ages, so I'm just gonna give you with the names. So there's Justin, Kai, Isaiah, Samson, me, and then there's Tay. And then my sister is between Justin and Kai. So Justin, Chanel, and then the rest are boys.
Okay. And I'm transitioning a little bit here, but your grandmother, I read, was diagnosed with ovarian cancer while you were a collegiate at Washington, correct? Mm-hmm. And I remember your brother Samson playing for Utah as well, if I'm not mistaken. You guys decided to come home to Provo to play together to help your family through that time?
Yeah, that was it was funny because I got to play against Samson at Utah in that COVID season, and then I had surgery on my foot in that 21 the beginning of that year, and my mom had called me and my grandma was diagnosed, and it was kind of a FaceTime between me and Sam, and it's just an opportunity, especially of us knowing, I guess, kind of what it like to lose a parent, mm-hmm. and how we could go there and to be a support for my mom, but also to support our family because we had gone through something very similar.
And Kai went on to play in the National Football League. In fact, I think he started his career with the Cleveland Browns, who are in next. Am I not correct on that?
Yep.
Okay. So do you remember him having his NFL debut and what that moment meant to him?
I don't necessarily remember that debut, but I remember especially because that he was a part of that 0-16 Browns team, or I think they maybe had won one game. But I remember I used to be a Packers fan, and how cool it was watching my brother go play against Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams. I remember that game so specifically. He was, I think it was one of his first starts, and I just remember like, dang, wait, that's my brother playing against like the guys that I was a huge Aaron Rodgers fan, and especially Davante Adams. So I just remember I was like, wait, why does this not seem real? Like the video game is happening right in front of me.
So this grandmother that you lost to cancer, was she the one who gave you the name Puka?
Yes, she was.
Okay, so your birth name is?
Makea Manu Nacua.
Makea. But you've been Puka throughout your childhood?
Yes, I maybe third grade was maybe the last time like kids in school were still calling me Makea, but I think from kind of that point on, Puka had stuck.
Now you say Cooper Kupp's the only one who calls you Makea from time to time,
yeah,
right? Unless
my mom's really mad at me, but I'll be in the huddle and Coach Yarbs will call me, and then I'll hear Makea, and I look around and I'm like, where's my mom? And it's Coop. It's Coop at the back of the huddle.
Just to go back to your brothers for a second, you talk about kind of being on the younger end of the totem pole and being the smaller younger brother. It's hard to believe given your stature these days, and it makes me just have to ask, like, how much do you really weigh? Because the Combine said 201. The Rams roster lists you at 205. If you're 205, I'm going to the DMV and I'm claiming 170, and I want a new driver's license.
I think right now I'm probably around maybe 215 pounds. So I definitely am a little bit heavier than maybe what the roster
So you've
says.
added weight through the summer and even through the season here as your first season as a professional.
Yeah, 100%.
By design, is that to help you get through the grind of 17 regular season games?
Yeah, I definitely think so, especially the physicality in this game of football, and then the role I've taken on the team, especially just being more involved in the run game, being able to withstand some of the beating that comes throughout 17 games. Yeah, having a couple extra pounds makes a difference.
Not as big as Big Steve, who I know you're friends with, and he was actually just in here. He's been on this show before, and the reason I bring him up here is because he told us that you guys made a deal early in your Rams career that he would get to spike your first touchdown.
Yeah.
Except for the fact that your first touchdown happened in overtime in Indianapolis and wound up
getting launched into the stands.
Where is that touchdown football? I need to know an update on your first NFL touchdown ball.
I know we were in communication with the kid that ended up snagging it. We were trying to see if we could exchange it for a signed jersey and stuff. I'm not sure where we go, but the kid, it's smart that he kept the football. I wouldn't want to let that one go either.
Okay, I hope you can find an arrangement to get that one back. Do you plan to allow your offensive linemen to spike all of your touchdowns? It seems like that's your intention.
I think so. It's always a fun one. I know the one in Seattle, I was making sure Steve came up to screaming in my face, and it was just like that moment trying to blur. But I remember like, hey, this is yours. Like, I remember now, so I was so glad I got it to him. But I think so. It's always fun. And I think of the Gronk, big Gronk, always he'd always spike it. So I don't know if they'll be as good as that one. But when the old linemen get up there, they just let that bad boy rip. It's a sweet one.
Okay, not trying to put you on the spot, but I wonder, transitioning college to pro, the overtime rules are different. So when you scored that first career touchdown, did you know 100% the game was over?
Oh no, no! Like Coleman was the first. Like people are running in my face, but then I'm seeing like people are exchanging like just with Matthew. Like I'm looking back, like kind of where the ball was thrown, and people are running out. So I'm like, oh, the field goal, and then like more and more people are running. Everybody's like still screaming. I'm just like, okay, and then like there's like a big group, and I see Coach McVay, and there's a moment kind of I remember afterwards, like, oh, this game's over, and I just turned around. That's where the feeling of like, oh, this ball needs to be sent into the stands just kind of overcame me, and I let it fly.
Tough to beat that moment from your rookie season and everything that it meant to the Rams so far in 2023. But maybe aside from that moment, do you have a favorite play that you've made so far as a Ram?
The run in just this most recent game in the Seattle game, the jet sweep that we had, I think that one was super sweet. I love a good run block, but being able to kind of exert some dominance, some physical strength of being able to run through some tackles right there and get the first down and to set up the game-winning field goal was a sweet one for me. That was the one that got me.
I was going to nominate the catch up against the sideline against the Steelers. And then the one where you ran through a couple of Steelers. Okay. There's lots of good ones to choose from. Okay, I want to get your true feelings on a couple of quick hitters here. And I want to start with nicknames. You've already got a great one that you essentially live by. But it was on this show early in the season, on a Rams Revealed exclusive with Darion Kendrick, that he was the first to drop the name Puka Doncic, the leverage killer. He let us in on that little nickname behind the scenes. How does that land for you?
I think that was so sweet. It's so funny how it kind of came about. I remember I feel like I was very quiet when I first got here, trying to just not really interacting with too many of the guys, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Just trying to figure out how do I fit in on the offense. And then it was funny. I heard the nickname one time, and I love basketball, so I was like, oh, I like that. And then more and more people are coming by me saying Puka Doncic. Like it was no more just Puka or what's up Puka. It's like Puka Doncic. So it stuck very quickly, and it just seemed to roll with everybody.
The other one is, I don't know if you're a Pokemon fan at all, but like Pukamon is one that a lot of the fans have nominated. Like they gotta catch them all to really stick.
That's a good
thumbs
one
up
too.
or thumbs down. You're okay with it?
I'm a thumbs up with that.
You
one.
are
Yeah.
okay.
Pikachu, the Pikachu. If you're catching that one, that's a good one too.
What about your handle, ASAP Puka, ASAP Puka? Like that was very forward looking, given your arrival in the National Football League as soon as possible. How did that come to be?
When I first started Twitter, the ASAP Rocky is a musician or an artist, and they have their tags or their handles are all ASAP. So that's why I thought I wanted to be cool with that. He was a cool guy at the time. He still is a cool guy, so I wanted to be a part of it.
Good backstory there. Okay, we're getting Puka's true feelings about a range of topics, and the next one is records. NFL records. Your next catch, you'll have sole possession of the Rams' rookie receiving record set by Eddie Kennison in 1996. How does all that feel? From the National Football League records to the Rams rookie records, how do they sit with you?
They're kind of crazy. I guess I haven't really given them too much thought. We're still in season, and there's so many other goals and objectives I feel like I want to hit for myself and for our team that It's a blessing. I definitely don't want it for them to go unrecognized, but there's still more on my plate for me to eat. So I definitely got to finish.
What about puka shells? There are more and more of them every week at SoFi Stadium. Is that going to catch on? Are we going to have branded Puka Nacua puka shells?
Maybe. I do like the clean look of just the normal white one, so I don't know if I want to go out and stretch out into my own branding of that, but I think I definitely might have to start rocking them because I have seen them more at SoFi too.
When I was in 6th grade, phew, they were the real deal. Okay, 40-yard dashes. What are your true feelings about the 40?
I'm not a fan of the 40-yard dash. Not it for me. I don't think wasn't great at running it, but I definitely do think I'm fast.
Last week during Thanksgiving, we were kind of going around the horn, things we're thankful for. And one of the ones that I put up was, I'm thankful that Puka ran 4.59. Because if you didn't, you wouldn't be here, I don't think. Right?
I'm not, yeah, possibly, but I'm glad I ended up here.
You and Cooper Kupp both because of the 40 and because other franchises overvalue it probably. And then last one, Breakfast Club, kind of the union of you and Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp and this morning routine that they've brought you into. What has that meant to you?
I love it. I love being able to hang out with the lads and get to talk football. I love being able to hear their perspective and the knowledge that they have accumulated and how well they articulate it and make it easy for us all to understand, and then just to kind of hang back and hang out with the cool guys and the leaders of our team and how much just how funny they are and just how much I want to get to know them outside of football as well. I can't get all the X's and O's knowledge that they have in 1 year, but over the time. But learning how funny Matthew is and the way he gets on Coop's nerves and how Coop can always get the right things he can just trigger things in Matthew. It's hilarious. I love hanging out with those guys.
Is there any feeling like catching a Matthew Stafford fastball?
No, it's perfect, and it's scary because he could be looking at you, and he also could be not looking at you, and it's still that same fastball.
Tell us about that first time you met Cooper Kupp when he zoomed into your college meeting.
Yeah, it was during COVID, and our receivers coach at the University of Washington had coached Cooper Kupp, so it was feeling like a fan. I still feel like I'm that same little kid when I walk into some of the meetings, except that Coop, he knows my name. He calls me by my legal name. But just hearing it and then being able to see it firsthand of the things that he said, I think it was maybe 4 years ago now, so 2019, 2020, of coming in. He talked about how he would be here hours before the first meeting started and how much time he spent after practice on treatment and how many balls he was catching after practice and how the time that he spent on film, and getting to see and be like a part of some of those things. It's so surreal, and then it's a blessing because I get to ask that guy question, who's the best ever to do it, and to watch him and trying to pick up on the pieces that he'll let me, and then trying to find out how way I can implement some of that stuff into my routine.
I wish we could go back in time and close out that Zoom and tell you that day in Seattle, hey, you're going to be in a stacked bunch with him someday in the National Football League. That probably would have blown your mind, I bet.
Yeah, I definitely want to believe you there.
All right, Puka, let's finish, as we always do on Rams Revealed, with a segment we call 3 and Out. I've got 3 final questions for you. As a thank you for answering them, I'll make a donation to the LA Rams Foundation on your behalf, okay?
Oh, sweet.
Courtesy of season ticket member Miguel Saldana, who I guess met you at Panda Express post-Steelers game.
Okay.
Do you remember that?
Okay, yes.
He tweeted a picture and a story saying that you were so humble and easygoing. He ran into you and bought you dinner after the Pittsburgh Steelers game. Do you remember that moment?
Yeah, I do. Thank you for the Panda Express.
So is that your go-to post-game meal, and what's your order?
I'm plain. I'm the fried rice and double orange chicken. I like it. It's nothing too crazy. I think I did have a Dr. Pepper that day, but don't tell our nutritionist. But that was about it.
Okay, I see a potential endorsement opportunity there, and likewise for this last one here on 3 and Out. My barber, who I will see tomorrow, shout out George at Jag's Barbershop in Westchester, is a big Puka Nacua fan for lots of reasons. And every time I'm in there, he asks how you're doing and what's next for you. And he's got a pitch, which is you need to join Troy Polamalu as a Head and Shoulders ambassador.
I like that.
Because he says your flow is elite.
Oh, thank you.
Are you open to that?
I'm 100% open to that. Let me and Troy get back to. I don't know if my flow is that good or it's that long, but if somebody thinks that, I'm 100% in there. The little man Troy that's in that commercial, I would love to be one of those.
It is that good, and it's as long as it's ever been. Your last haircut was
probably February of this year, or I just barely got I guess not a full haircut. He trimmed. I got a trim 2 weeks ago.
How long are we going to let this go, Puka?
I don't know. I think I don't. Maybe I could be in competition with Rose Boom, but I don't know about that. He's got a long flow too. That might take a couple years. Maybe when I'm in number 12, it'll be that long.
Well, a great rookie season, great lettuce to go with it. We wish all the success, and we're glad that you're kind of settling into this new world where you are an NFL superstar and one of the great members of this Rams rookie class. Puka, thank you for your time. We wish you a nice off day and a great week ahead against the Cleveland Browns.
Thank you.
All right, for Puka Nacua, I'm JB Long. We always thank you for joining us for Rams Reveal.
Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on our videos.